Yes. Now we'll see what rolls, I guess. Hey, how are you? Figured I'd come on, try, see if anybody's around, I guess. I haven't done much of these, so I guess it is what it is, you know? How are you? Zeus CC. Yeah, I think you've made a few comments. I know who you are. Yeah, not bad. Hey, how are you? Yeah, not too bad. Same old, same old. Been out, did some shopping. I just made a video. It's actually uploading. I was craving Chinese, like I always talk about. I was uh, I was actually very close to McDonald's. I was gonna drive in, but I didn't get anything. So what you're gonna see in the video is pretty much what I've eaten. And then I had a shake earlier with some. Well, I had a blend that I made, so I put olive oil in there, and then I just had a shake with some Triscuits and a couple tortilla chips and some peanuts. And I'll probably eat something later, and if I do, I'll record it. Sorry about that. So how's everybody doing? All right? At least it's Friday, right? Friday, Friday. Yeah, one of my favorite days of the week. You know? What did you guys do today? What did you do, Zeus CC and what's that, Nasuki? I believe I got that right. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I can't. Yeah, I get a lot of good feedback. So, I try to. Sometimes I gotta control the antics because I try to make it a little different. I mean, it's not like I go out in public or to restaurants and sit there and eat like an animal and do But I pretty much yeah. And on the videos, it's a different scope. It's fun to kind of mess around a little bit and do some stuff that's kind of out of the ordinary. At least I think it just like I said, it allows me to get my stress out. So I mean that's pretty much why I do it. That's good. 2 mile walk outside, nice. Yeah, I do my cardio indoors. That's what I was talking about in the last video. I didn't mean blood pressure. There's 3 zones when you do cardio. So if you have a watch that is gonna is gonna regulate or let you know what your heart rate is, or if you have a setting and you're a walk setting on a fit watch or something, you don't even need it. You just need something that shows your heart rate in steps. Um, Not even steps because you can go by time and you can go by heart rate. But there's 3 zones, so you take 220, you minus your age. That's zone 3. That's going to be your highest output, and then so like typically 100 and 120 beats is like zone 1, or close to like 130, and then 130 and up would be zone 2, and then probably in the 160s and up would be zone 3. Depending, I don't quite remember. So that's what I was talking about. So my goal for my age, I'm 47, so I need to be at 173 beats per minute to be in zone 3 if I'm doing cardio. Um, and there's some that say that hits fat loss, and then there's some that say, 140s is for fat loss. But I like to try to get my heart rate is up the best I can, and try to get my lungs to the best output I can get them. So, yeah, but it's hard because I do floor work on in the basement. So jogging place, jumping jacks, different things. I'm not outside hitting the road. So it's difficult to get that heart rate up there. And I got this new watch, and this one's, it's hard to get to like even 150, 140. This watch that I always had, for some reason, it would go real high up to the 200s, where I thought I'd definitely be in the 170s. But I have counted my heart rate, my pulse by 6 and times it by 10, and I've been around 170. So that's just something to keep in mind. And when you do walk, not sure what if it's just leisure or if you're trying to if you have a goal with the walk, but if you are trying to lose any weight or fat, you can always like walk real briskly for as fast as you can for like 30 seconds a minute, and then go slow for like a minute. And then you could do that for 5 or 10 minutes, and then just continue to walk. And that's actually gonna that should raise your metabolism. It's hot outside and you're sweating more, you're gasping a little bit. That's what you want to get to. And then you want to slow it down and walk, and then pick it up, and then walk and pick it, and then you just finish your walk. So that's another idea too that might help. Just add to some cardiovascular benefit, and also a reduction of blood sugar as well, because walking is very good for reducing cholesterol, uh, blood sugar. It's also really good for circulating the blood of the body, the capillaries, the whole circulatory system, the whole metabolic system, really. And your mitochondria get worked too, because they're the powerhouse of the cell. So the mitochondria are going to get worked really well, and kind of when you do those kind of short bursts or whatnot, it helps add to that. Oh, all right. I got it. Why you help your dad? Okay. To walk with pops with your dad. Oh, I got you then. All right. I thought you guys were no, but just keep in mind, anyways. It's useful knowledge. You know what I mean. I'm not sure how old. How old are you, Zeus CC? How about you, Nasuki? Are you from United States or Asia? Oh, okay. I got you. Oh, then you don't really need to worry about it, probably. And actually, when I was that age, I had a hard time losing fat. I worked out and stuff. I didn't really know how to work out, but I was active and I did a lot of stuff, but I still had a lot of body fat, and I couldn't get defined, couldn't get any definition, and it was very difficult to even get stronger in any type of lift, like a bench press, a deadlift, a squat. So, oh, Seoul, Korea. Nice. Been dying to try the Korean street food. I'm not gonna lie. I love food, but matter of fact, there was a volunteer where I'm at a lot of times, and he's Korean, and he actually would tell me about some of the street food, and I've seen stuff on the Food Channel, and I'm not gonna lie, I would love to be able to try some of that good stuff over there. I get very intrigued by, like, Asia, Japan, Korea, etc. With the street food, and with the authentic food in general. Over here in the United States, you get authenticity, but it's not obvious like it is when you're in the country of origin, on these items. But I've been to some good. I haven't been to any Korean places. I've been to some good Asian, some good Japanese. I gotta try. There in a like there's a few Korean places down in the city that I could probably try that I might. you know. So that's pretty cool. What? How's Korea like? Not bad. It looks nice. Must be a lot of good taekwondo in Korea. Is there any Muay Thai in Korea? Cause or any other arts other than taekwondo? Cause I know yeah, I'm big into martial arts and stuff. I haven't studied long on anything, but I do also love in some of the ethnic origins. You get some good schools out there, especially for Muay Thai. Like going to Thailand, like the guys that go up there and or where up to Thailand and train and some lethal sport. So and go for self-defense. So I know there's a lot of arguments they make on Taekwondo and the traditional punching and this and that. But I mean, if you bridge it over to like a boxing type of punch, you keep the traditional and then you bridge it over to like hands up and you throw the same type of shot and you work on the dodging and whatnot and you throw it in. You're gonna get Taekwondo can definitely be very effective, especially if you add Hapkido to the Taekwondo. That's gonna be even more effective because there's a lot of good joint manipulation in that art as well. Yeah, I don't mind the UFC. I'm not big into it. I don't watch much of it. Uh, but Tokyo, nice. Always wanted to go there too. Yeah, UFC. Yeah, I've seen a few. I was into it more when it was, back in when I was in high school, when it was in the beginning with Ken Shamrock, and Gracie, and Chemo, and Tank Abbott. Those guys there. Um, as it progressed, I don't watch it too much. I do know some of the guys like McGregor and Silva, and there's a few I like. What's his name? Chael Sonnen or something. I think he's real stand up, tough dude. I think he's great actually. I really like him. I like who else do I like? There's a few guys that I like actually. Even though I don't watch it, I like Chow and I like it's kind of a redneck guy, I forget his name, but he has good principles and morals. Sean Strickland. I like Strickland too. I like his moral and I like his stand on things. I think he can be a little bullyish maybe and whatnot, but I think that's his personality and I think he's maybe overemphasizing things because maybe of what we're seeing in the world today, but I think he's a pretty tough dude and um, I know he was calling Marines out. I didn't agree with that at all because Marines or anybody in the armed forces are pretty tough, and they kind of deal with crazy real life combat against multiple attackers on a daily. So I think a combat, highly skilled combat armed force trainee or studier that's been in the force for a while and that's been doing it would wreak havoc on a lot of these UFC guys. I know they're good, and I know the grappling though. That's the thing. If they're really good in the grappling and they're fighting a military guy that's not, and they get them, it's gonna be hard. A lot of these guys are black belts or brown belts, and I've done jujitsu a little bit, a few months here, a few months there, and I had a guy who was he was a heavy dude, and I was about 115, 120 at the time, about what I am now. And I told him to let me feel some pressure, and he was putting moves on me. I'm like, no, you can do me a little more. And he was like, you sure? I'm like, yeah, just a little more. I'll tap. Just keep going. And I'm like, keep going. And finally, I got to a point where he was doing some press thing on me, and I felt like he would have broken my spine into a bunch of pieces. He was rock solid. So some of those guys, even if you're three stripe white, and you're fighting somebody and you get the right, you get them by the hip and you get them down and you can get that choke or you can get that arm bar or whatnot and you break something, guy's done. So, I mean, there's a lot of people that say like jujitsu is not good in the street, and I'm not sure if I'm totally down with that because most fights, especially against a smaller guy like me, is going to end up on the ground. Even if I was good at stand up or a boxer, if I'm fighting a bigger guy, the chances of me, I might take a few hits that might do me worse, you know? So my goal is going to be to get him to the ground. My goal is going to be to get him so I'm on top so he lands on the back of his head if my life's in danger. My goal isn't to go and grapple and go in side control or something and be, rolling around on the pavement. My goal is to get him, either to slam him or to get him down where I am in mount and I am on top and I am able to rein in on him or do something or catch him while he comes up against me, make sure I'm on top of his chest so he can't bump me off. That's my goal, and see a lot of and I think that's effective on the street because he's on the pavement, and you're blowing him and his head's hitting back, hitting the pavement. But you got to be careful because life's in danger, and if you hurt the guy or kill him and you didn't have just cause, then you're going to jail. So, well, yeah, Strickland favorite. Yeah, yeah, all right, definitely, definitely. But but I think jujitsu is very useful on the street. I think boxing. I think actually wrestling, judo. I think judo might be a little bit more effective than jujitsu sometimes, especially on the street, especially against guys with jackets and shirts and whatnot. I think judo is, you slam a guy, you do a hip throw or something, and slam him hard on the pavement. He's not getting up, and you could be a smaller guy, and you're gonna take somebody knowing some good. If you're good at jujitsu, you're gonna hurt him. You're gonna hurt him bad. So I think jujitsu is good. Hey, how are you, Richard? I'm doing well, thank you. Um, but yeah, definitely boxing or some Muay Thai. But boxing is great because you learn how to slip, move, and punch, and then you hit bags and you spar and you learn technique, and I think that's important as well. If you stun a guy with a jab and you catch him with a good cross, and then you can come in on him and then just put him in a lock or something, you know. But if there's friends around, then you could be in trouble. But yeah, I'm doing all right. Yeah, same here. Definitely. Boxing and wrestling, or I was thinking boxing and judo. I was talking about jujitsu, but I wasn't sure. I'm like, yeah, I think it is, especially if you can get in and get the choke, but judo, from what I've been watching and whatnot, I do in wrestling, those guys are animals. So I mean, those wrestlers, the way they can contort and slam somebody, they'll kill you. So I think wrestling and their training is I think tougher. I think they're probably the toughest trained. Definitely more than judo and definitely more than jujitsu. I mean, wrestling is crazy physical output, and I think definitely with the boxing, you rough somebody up real quick. And if they grab you and you're a wrestler, that's what you want. And wrestlers are also typically stronger than any of the other guys because I believe, I'm not sure, I've never wrestled, but I would assume there's a lot more, physicalness, strength, and, contortions. And there's some crazy slams and submissions and stuff that I see. I know when Dan Severn came to the UFC, he was a wrestler and he he wrecked people. And I was one of those kids where I grew up thinking, kung fu. You take some kung fu, some wushu, some snake. You know what I mean? Some five animal fist, and you're gonna come out there and rock everybody. So I'm like, I see these guys in the UFC in the beginning, and they be doing all these crazy, Chinese, Japanese, traditional art stuff, and I'm like, oh, kill them. And then you get them against a wrestler, the grappler, the guy that knew Jeet Kune Do. They have some grappling moves, and they lose. And then after that, I was kind of like, well, as a kid, I guess I thought wrong because I grew up in the '80s, so Karate Kid, the Shokasugi, uh, Last Dragon, the Bruce Lee, the Chuck Norrises, the Octagon, Long Wolf McQuaid, all that good stuff. So you see that, and you're like, whoa, I need to learn some of that, and I'm gonna rough stuff up. But then you get older and you realize that all you need is some wrestling, some judo, and a little bit of boxing or a little bit of Muay Thai, and you're good to go. Elbows are fierce. I see some skinny, skinny Thailand guys that would slice a bigger guy apart with and they're like I look, huge compared to these guys, and I'm small. I'm 5'5", 120. I'm not a big dude. I mean, I can gain weight, but I got to eat a lot. It goes to my gut, and I don't like it. I just, unless I eat clean, but it just, which I have been, but I mean, consistently, I need probably 5 or 6 meals a day, so, and I get lazy. So I try to do the best that I can. Yeah, wrestling does, especially the neck. The neck, legs, those guys, the legs are huge. The core, the hip flexors, the tendons and ligaments, so the everything. Yeah, wrestling strengthens basically the whole body. I would say. I think everything, arms, the whole nine. Because yeah, I know that for sure, definitely. How are you, Lemon Plus? Nice to see you. It's pretty cool here. Yeah, this is only my second live, to be honest with you guys. I did one, I think a week ago. But it is a little later in the day, so I guess you get some some more on there. How are you doing, Lemon? Well, but yeah, wrestling. I wish I did that as a kid. I could have. I had a buddy in high school when I was a senior and he was a junior, and he wanted me to go. Pretty good coach that he had, and he wanted me to go train with him for a few hours. It was like 2 or 3 hours after school, and I was too afraid at the time. I was a puss growing up. Now I'm not so much, but I kind of learned. I've been to some gyms, and like I said, I've done some jujitsu and things like that. So I mean, I'm not like I was back then. I'm not afraid of getting hit. So but I really wish I went because I would have learned some good stuff that would have helped me out in my 20s. If I wrestled with him for a good 2 or 3 years, there were a few people that I would have hurt bad in my 20s, and I would have loved to do it because I did get bullied through my 20s. And if I knew this stuff, if I had the opportunity to take judo, taekwondo, and hapkido from a very good place that's still around when I was 8, and I didn't do it, and I wish I did because when I got into school where I basically moved to when I was 9, if I had known that judo, I would have hurt all those kids that bullied me. I would have hospitalized them, and I would have done it with pleasure. I would have definitely hospitalized those kids. I got one time I was in the bathroom and I went to come out, and the kid comes up to me, pushes me, kind of walks me against the wall. He's a fat, heavier kid. No offense if you're overweight. I'm not against that. I don't care about any of that. I'm just referencing to this kid. He was a heavier kid. He was overweight. And he like gets me face to face against a wall in the bathroom. And I got bad OCD and I'm obsessed and high anxiety. And all I thought is if I do judo, man, I would have been able to freaking grab him and throw him on that floor and slam his head, you know? And who cares if I hospitalize him? I'm a young kid. I'm not doing, whatever. And I say, and I think about that daily. As a matter of fact, I was at the Walmart I always go to back in like 2017, and I was ripped up. So Richard's saying you hit the bong. I'm hitting the bong all the time. I've done one, two, three, four, five, six, seven. I'm on about my 25th hit for the bong for today. So just to let you know. uh but but yeah. So I was in Walmart and I was pretty ripped up and I was running with the cart. And next thing I know, I almost run into this guy and I look up and I'm like, "Whoa, it's that kid. It's the one that got me against the wall." I was like, "Yo." I was like, "Nah, I'd hurt him." Hey, he was way bigger than me, heavier and whatnot, but I'd have killed him. I would have wrecked him. I wanted to. I was like, "Please say something to me." I wanted to take his head and slam it against it. It was in the bread section. I wanted, and there's like coolers nearby, and I wanted to take his head and just slam it in the back of the cooler, like shirt, yoke him up, and just, you know, or just grab him by the shirt and just slug him right here so I'd knock him out. Hit him right here so I'd knock him out. And I actually was obsessing so hard because it was towards the end. I had to go and return the bread because a lot of times the Nature's Own bread has a hole in it. If you look at the side, so I was checking out and I saw it, so I was running back like a bat out of hell to the bread section to exchange it, and that's when I almost ran. That's when I almost ran into him, and I went back to the register, and I was like staring at him, and he was looking at me, and I'm just staring at him, and I almost went up to him, but I thought to myself, if I did, I'd be going to jail because if I hit him, then I don't have just cause because he didn't say anything like I hoped that he would. And I'm sure he recognized me, and I sent him a bad message on Facebook one time, really bad, cursing him out, this, that, and this. So I was hoping he was going to say something, but he didn't. But that was back in like 2017, 2018. So, but yes, good. Love the bong. I've been hitting the bong since 2000. That was my fate. It all started smoking in 1998, and I swore I would never buy my own sack. And then one day I was working at Filene's, and one day, which was like a sub thing of G Fox company, it became Filene's, and I was working in a small electric section. And I was with my friends the night before, and I looked down, and I'm like, "Oh, there's a roach," and it was like a blunt. It was swag at the time, because that's what was pretty much smoked, unless you had money for the mid grade or the kind bud before the high grade. And then they had the high grade, but you had to know somebody for that. But I did back in 2003 to 2002 to 2005 or 2004. I was getting some crazy like Alaskan ice, different strains, and it was like 50 and eighth, and it was better than anything I've seen at a dispensary. But I mean, this was like back in the day. But anyways, I had saw the roach, so I smoked it on the way to work, and I was feeling it, and I'm like, all right, I'm like, this is actually pretty cool. So I called my buddy, and and I'm like, yeah, man. I'm like, if you can please give me a quarter, or I think I actually asked for a half. I was like, I'd much appreciate it. And so it kind of started with that, and then I was one that they were joint and blunt smokers, and I never saw the point of using so much at once. So I was always usually into the bowl, and then I started meddling with the bongs and found that you just get the best rip ever and get the highest from it. So I've been a bong smoker since, it's really steadily since 2000. Yeah, steadily since 2000. I've been smoking the bong. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. But I do love the bong. It's a good thing. Love it. Just always checking my stomach. Yeah, I got that gallstone. Oh, all right. Yeah, I have that gallstone. It sucks. So I'm watching what I eat. I don't want to get the gallbladder out, so I got to try to figure some things. But supposedly it's one stone, but it's large. But I've been trying to. This is just some apple cider vinegar and some water with a little bit of baking soda. I don't drink much of it, but it after the video you saw I did, this is why I'm having it. And I put 2.5 tablespoons of lemon juice and a tablespoon of lime juice, and there's magnesium in there. Uh, 400 milligrams of magnesium, to a full 100% value of magnesium in there. Citrate powder. I have the glycinate upstairs, but I didn't want to go up there to grab it. And there is also chancapedra in there, which is an herb for the kidneys and for the gallbladder. And there's about gram and a half of malic acid in there, which is good for everything as well. Supposedly that also helps, I read, absorb your minerals. So like if you're gonna have like say my protein shake with milk, I put the malic acid in there. Or if I have this drink, the lemon juice, and I put the malic acid when I have the magnesium, supposedly it's gonna help me absorb that magnesium better. So just and the malic acid is cheap. You can get the powder of that, and the magnesium citrate or glycinate. Glycinate's the better one. You get those on Amazon, and you can find the powders pretty cheap. And I recommend the powders because they're just easier to gauge the dose. Because you don't need to take a full dose of magnesium every day. Usually like 4 or 5 days a week. I take it, and sometimes I take half the daily serving, and sometimes I take the full. I don't do the I range it, and then there's some days I go 3 or 4 days I don't take any at all. Then I get from working out and standing a lot all day. I get some muscle cramps sometimes if I flex at night because my I don't stretch as much as I should. But if I take the magnesium right, that doesn't happen, and my sleep is much better. So if anybody's having problems with sleep, hit up that magnesium because it's going to help. Yeah, well, Lemon, check out the magnesium. Go with the glycinate. And if you order on Amazon, you can find some good ones. Magnesium glycinate, unflavored. You want the powder, and that will help you sleep. Valerian root will also help you sleep. It's an herb. It's similar. It's not Valium, but I guess there's a similarity to a property that is similar to Valium, to valerian root. So valerian root is good. Melatonin is also very good. 5 milligrams is all you need. 2.5 I would start with, but the doses I think are 5. But if you can cut it in half, but try melatonin is good for sleep. Peppermint tea, chamomile tea is good for sleep. So if you have some chamomile tea with some melatonin before bed, that should help you sleep well with a little and get that magnesium and take that magnesium during the day. You don't have to take it at night. You can take it during the day. You just put in a little bit of water. If you want to enhance it, you could add some apple cider vinegar to it. You know, um, however, but yeah, definitely look into that. um, I noticed I was having problems with sleep, and I was getting up between 1:30 back 2015, 2016, 2017, 2018. I was getting up between 1:30 and 2:30 a.m. Couldn't sleep. I'd wake up, start working out 3:30, 3 in the morning, 3:30 in the morning. Like I couldn't sleep. Um, and I noticed after taking the magnesium for some time, I can sleep. Like today, I woke up almost at 5, and I could have slept longer, but I got up. But I can sleep a lot longer. I mean, I don't sleep consistently. I'm up like every 2 hours. So because of that, I don't. It's not a solid sleep. So I'm tired a lot, but I mean, I pretty much do the best I can. Yeah, yeah, caffeine will. Yes. But I gotta have that caffeine. Yeah, the gallbladder's been all right though. Hasn't I haven't had any problems with it, but today is gonna be 5 weeks in a day, and I have not had any restaurant food, and I've only had a Wendy's double stack, the one on the video, the double stack, the small fry, and the frosty, and I was fine after that. Um, and that's all I've had for junk in the sense in 5 weeks in a day today. Um, Other than some candy and some chips and some junk food like that, which I probably shouldn't have, but whatever. So that yeah, that's and by now I would have had fast food probably about 8 times in 5 weeks, 9 times in 5 weeks, and I would have had restaurant food probably eight times, 5 to 8 times. So picture all that hasn't been eaten, as that's kind of was my that's kind of been my trail. Fast food every day Friday with a large diet, usually a Burger King BK King with an extra cheeseburger with some mozzarella sticks with a large diet with a sundae, and I'll eat that within 20 minutes, and then I'll go home, and then I'll start eating chips, candy, cookies, that kind of stuff. So that's what I was doing. And so that's all I would order, fast food, and then I would still sloth the rest of the day. And then usually Saturday or Sunday, I may get Chinese or pizza, calzone. May go to the dairy bar, which you see in a video on, which is okay, and get a burger and fries and an ice cream. So I haven't been doing any of that, and I've been okay. Haven't had any issues, but it kind of sucks because I've been craving some of that stuff, especially Chinese. Before I had the issue 5 weeks ago that lasted longer than I've had, because like I said before, it's been this summer will be 2 years that I kind of had the first issue, and I was doing a lot of blends with the lemons, and I had no problems. I mean, I was eating, but the thing was since I was wasn't having any problems, I kept increasing the amount of food to the point where I'd feel like I couldn't breathe. It would be like if you were to watch the overweight shows where the people sit there and eat themselves all day. It was kind of like that. I'd eat myself to the point where I couldn't fit anything anymore. Um, and I think by doing that over the course of the past few years, over and over again, I think it just cycled. I guess kind of just added up to where I'm at now. Because I thought I had it under control, and I didn't think, but now that I think about all the cholesterol and fat and processed crap that I consumed, I was probably growing the gallbladder a hair from where it was at a few years ago, which I probably should have realized in my head, because obviously I wasn't metabolizing through the gallbladder all that cholesterol, whatnot, with the bile, because it wouldn't have turned into a stone if I did. So yeah, so I probably grew it, which sucks. So I'll just wait and see what happens, I guess. Well, we'll see. Well, at least it's Friday, you know? Been a long week. Definitely a long week. Not a bad week, though. Hope everybody's week's been well. Definitely not a bad week. Long, but not bad. I actually been able to work. I've been working out more. I worked out Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and today. And I don't know how I did today because I was doing some physical stuff yesterday from like 1:30 to 3, real physical, and the stuff I was lifting probably like it was between 30 to 50 pounds, 60-pound boxes and stuff, and there were multiple boxes and stuff that I was moving yesterday. So I came home real tired, and I didn't think I'd be able to move today, but for some reason I kind of forced myself to do a legs and back workout, and I did that. I think it took maybe like 50 minutes or something. So yeah, so I've been trying. Nah, nothing really for the weekend. Um, yeah, nothing really. Went shopping today. Uh, have some errands to run maybe tomorrow, but not much. Not much. Flex for the camera. There you go. There's a little flex for you. Yes. Welcome to another. Yeah, I'm not gonna be honest with y'all. Sometimes watching myself on here, I think like when I do the videos later in the day where I'm eating in those odd places, and I look at myself, I'm like, damn, I look like I was hitting the bong all day. But it's like what happens now. It's almost like in Over the Top when Stallone would turn a hat around. It's almost like once I get in front of the camera, it's like ASMR food tray Mike comes out. So it's almost like the persona of what I'm doing on there just kind of overrides basically who I am at the time. And being a Gemini makes sense because the second twin comes out and you get what you see. So I guess you call me schizophrenic in some way, right? The altar comes out, food train Mike, and you get a different personality then. And the best is everybody's walking by. Nobody knows what the hell I'm doing. I'm sitting there, I'm smiling. I was when I was doing the flex like this. The one lady's walking by, and I'm just smiling, going like that. Nobody has a clue what I'm doing. They probably think I'm nuts. Um, I have no idea, but I mean, that's what makes it fun. And I know it's a kind of a pain for the ASMR because they're loud, and then I gotta talk. But I mean, I don't really have much areas to go, so it kind of just makes it easier, and it's just kind of part of the fun. And it's only one video or two videos a week that I put out like that, so I figure it adds something different. Oh, Clark, how you doing? So I figure it you know, adds a little bit of fun, to the video, especially, I didn't realize that Big John, I call him, he's the transportation director there, and he's a bigger guy, nice guy, and he's there like all day. He's there from like 7:30 to 5 or 6 some nights, and he drinks like a pot of coffee a day there. And there was a part in one of the videos where he was like telling the coffee pot to hurry up. And when I rolled back to the video and listened to it, I'm like, that's choice. I mean, you don't, it's a guy's like pleading with the coffee maker to hurry up is the funniest thing. And I know him, I know who he is. So it's just funny to see that or hear that, I should say. But then you see him walk by with his cup and whatnot. And yeah, it's interesting, it's funny to me because I'm there and one minute I'm doing something, and there was one time when I had the napkin on my head because I like doing that. I do that. That's just for fun. That's just for show. A little something different, especially if I can get the thumbnail to have that on there. I figured maybe it'd attract more people to watch. Something stupid, quirky, I guess you could say. But I had it on one time and somebody walked by and saw me. I like putting a bib on because that looks kind of, like guy having a bib, and it's always like a, paper towel. So I mean, people walk by, they see it, but I don't care. I mean, I'm trying to make videos. I'm trying to make money with this. I'm trying to do something with it. It may take time, but I mean, in February I was stagnant with 350 something subscribers. I couldn't get views past 200. And then one day I went shopping later and I did that McDonald's video in February when I'm holding a burger. And for just it so happened to be, I caught a thumbnail doing that. And then I started looking at times and I started knowing that every 4 minutes, if I do a specific long video, I can usually get a thumbnail in there so that's why I usually pause with stuff at various intervals in my videos because I'm not on a computer and I don't edit so I can go back and try to hit a thumbnail. So that was out of luck and I did an ASMR. I did a Burger King one before it that didn't get many views. And then I did an ASMR with the McDonald's one and it hit like 1,000 views in a few days. And I was like, whoa. And it kept going up. So then I just started doing that. And, the sub base went from that to what it is now. And then, I was monetized and everything went through. And, I went through all the processes. The only thing I have to do now is wait till I meet the threshold, which is $100. And I guess once I get that, then I can link an account for them to direct deposit me money. So by the way it's looking, it might be looking at like $50 a month right now. I don't know if it's gonna, I don't know how that's gonna work. If it go, it may go up a little bit. It's just small change right now, I guess you could say. But I'm hoping, the videos go, a little farther. So within time, maybe they will. Like I said, I just do it as a hobby. It's fun, gets the stress out, you know, gets me to forget about some of the worries and compulsions. So I enjoy doing it, really enjoy doing it. But I mean, eventually, in the years to come, if the channel can get bigger, and I can make some residual income with it, that'd be great. That'd be really awesome, and that's kind of my goal, and that's why I try to do as much as I can with the videos and whatnot, because I'm trying my hardest to get that growing. And I mean, with the subs that I have compared to the small guys, I'm moving up there. Because in the small circle where I'm in right now, we're looking at the guys with 2,500 subs, 3,000. So I'm at almost 18, almost 1,700. So I'm almost at 2K. So I'm right up there with those guys in the 3,000s, the 2,000s, and I'm climbing. I'm climbing all right. I'm climbing quick. So that leads me to believe, one video hit 1,000 views in 2 days. Now, if I can get some videos to hit 1,000 views daily, 2 or 3,000 views daily, well, no, that's progress, but that's going to take some time. I was thinking about in time getting a mic, a USB mic, and maybe trying in a different setting, maybe trying some different ASMR stuff. I have some ideas of different things. So, we'll see as time goes on. But I do enjoy doing the food ones. And even if it's simple stuff, like I said, I try to make it a little more elaborate, even though it's simple. So, yeah, I mean, that's kind of that's kind of where I'm trying to where I'm trying to focus with that. And it's pretty good. I mean, it's been okay. Um, but that's why, I try to put up a few videos, like I don't know, like two or three or something, on the weekend, and then I try to, get, I try to get them up there because, I know the more videos I put up, sometimes I wonder if maybe I should, do just one a day, but I figure out what the heck, if I can do a few. I wasn't gonna do a live today, but I'm kind of just sitting here and not as tired as I normally am. I think I drank too much coffee. Well, not really, but I'm not as tired as I normally am. So I uh, I figured, you know, I figured I'd yeah, I figured I'd make a video. Or I mean, I figured I'd maybe go on for a live. Yeah, yeah, I'm gonna get a USB one or something. Maybe I can clip. Maybe that might be better for eating, or maybe a little one that'll stand in front of me or something. And eventually, I'm gonna get a camera. I can get an upgrade on my phone. I have a Galaxy, but I mean, I think it's like a 5. But I was told that because I'm so overdue on a phone that I've accumulated like I think it's like 900 and something dollars in credit. So now when I get the phone, I'm just gonna have to pay the service fee. So the phone basically is gonna be free. So it would probably be better if I went and got that Galaxy, the new one, because everything would look better, But I haven't yet. I'm yet to do that. But once I hit the threshold and maybe get a little bit of kashoosh there, maybe maybe I'll get a mic and wait a little bit and then get a camera. Um, so it's a little bit better. But I'm waiting to see. I'm not gonna rush it. I'm taking it slow. You know what I mean? So we'll see. We'll kind of see what happens, I guess. But yeah, I agree with you. What's that? Oh, I'm sorry, man. Twist to turn. Yeah, yeah. Definitely. Definitely good investment. Definitely good investment. Definitely good investment. Another flex. Another flex. Another flex. Another flex. There you go. All right, there's one there. Better for you. Like I said, it looks better on the camera. It does. Yeah. It kind of looks like, it does. It does. But it is what it is, right? Yeah. There's striations. You see the veins. You see the stripe. But I've lost body fat. I'm down to 120 from 130. But I'm the same size though. I'm not any smaller. You know what I mean? Legs are small, but that's from low testosterone. You lose your ass and you lose your legs, and that's what's happened to me. But I don't want to inject test. If I did, I'd be even bigger. But I'm not gonna do that because that can cause a lot of problems. Um, but it is like that in real life. But I think it just looks better on the camera. I don't. Like if I put a muscle shirt on and walk around, look in the mirror, it seems to look better on camera than it does. But of course, I'm looking at it probably from a different angle, from somebody, looking at me, I guess you could say. So thank you, Zeus. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, if you want to cheat, get the P90X program because that's where I started, the first one, and get a pull-up bar and get yourself. If you don't want to, if you don't have an Olympic set and spend the money on that, you can find a nice 15-foot barbell that's skinnier. That's going to come with two smaller bars for dumbbells. It's going to have the collars, and it's going to come with 120 pounds of iron weight. And you can start with that, and you can go to any sports store or online, and you can order plates that will fit that aren't that expensive. And if there's a Dick's any sporting goods store is going to have plates that are going to fit those weights. So I would recommend the P90X program. It's basically all push-ups and pull-ups and arm stuff that you do with dumbbells. And that's kind of what I did from 2008 to 2012, 2013. I'm actually doing that again now. Kind of got tired of the regular lifting and trying to get 135 pounds on the bench press for this many reps. I'm kind of weak in those, and I got 95 over my head for 2 reps, but then the next time I tried it, I could only get it up once, and I got frustrated. So then now I'm back to doing the P90X. That's what happens. I get frustrated when I can't move the weight. I was trying to get over 100 over my head, and I failed to get 95. But sometimes with the P90X, I'll work in the bench. I'm gonna work in barbell shrugs, and then I work in the bench. Sometimes I work in the squat. I'll start working in the squat, the bench, bench, barbell squat, barbell shrug, and I could barbell shoulder press because the way the workouts are set up, you can, if you wanted to skip a few of theirs and say add in a compound movement, that's also something you can do too. So if anybody out there wants a way to lose a lot of body fat and get ripped up in 3 to 6 months, the first P90X is the way to go, and you can get yourself a little pull-up station for like $100 to $150 on Amazon. Get yourself a little dumbbell set for about $120, maybe $150 if you can, and get the program. And yeah, it's not a bad thing. And even without the program, if you start doing a lot of push-ups and a lot of pull-ups, you're gonna get some definition. Arm curls, shoulder presses, flies, bench press, supersets, burpees, another great way too. If you're limited, a lot of burpees. You can do burpees to pull-ups to dips, or push-ups to pull-ups to dips, things like that. If you have a park around, you can go there too. I know sometimes they have bars, and if you can't do a pull-up, a lot of times if you can kick up on the pull-up bar or get a chair and hop up and then lower yourself slow on the eccentric, Would be your concentric, your flex, and your eccentric is the lowering, concentric is the raising. So if you can get yourself up concentrically and then lower really slow on the eccentric, you're gonna build up to get to that. I mean, I couldn't do. I did one pull up, and then after P90X, I can do 12 to 15 pull ups. But if I set them like into 3 sets, it goes from like 10 to 12 on the first set, 8 to 9, and then like 6 to 7. So I'm working on the pull-ups. It's a hard exercise. It's very difficult, especially your regular pull-up. I've been doing more neutral and reverse because I've been finding this is kind of straining a little bit. So I've been keeping it. I was doing ones today where you do a reverse for 2 reps, and then you hold on with one hand and then grab the bar this way and then grab the bar and then do 2 pull-ups this way, grab it too. And I did like 7, did like a couple sets, and I could get like 7. So basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, and then one of going this way. So 2 here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then however it was. So it was a total of 7 like that. 7 count. So yeah, and that was pretty tough. And then you're hanging, so you're pulling on your joint too. So you gotta be careful. I don't have much joint pain, but I'm a little impinged because I can't. My shoulder. I mean, if I stand up, and I go to do like here, I can only go to here. I mean, I should be able to go a little farther, but I can only go to here, and I feel so there's a little impingement, a little unevenness too. I've noticed in the shoulder, and that's probably from cockeyed pressing and stuff. So I mean, but there's rotational movements I can work on. I'm not impinged to the point where I'm in pain. I press 125 for a few reps or 130 for one. That's about my best right now, sad as that is. I don't have any shoulder pain. But when I press the 95 over my head with the barbell for, how you doing, Maine's Food Reviews? Interesting, nice. Yeah, when I press the 95 for the 2 reps, uh, I didn't have any pain. But the thing is, the bar comes down. You put it up, your bar comes down. I'm 120, so I put 95 up. It's still a lot. It's still a lot on the shoulder. When I was heavier, when I bulked up a little bit back in 2013, I was like in the 140s, and I was benching. I think I on my records it showed like 185. I hit 300 pounds on a deadlift. Nice to see you too, Chris and Greg. If Chris is there, I did the Ed Cohen deadlift program, and I was able to get 300 for one, and I was 140 body weight at the time. And I picked up 300 off that floor. I was like, oh my gosh, I just did double my weight. I was squatting like 185, 180 for reps. But I was stronger then. I was at this boxing gym, and I was doing this cardio boxing program, and I was moving the bags. I was doing different things. I was just came from getting trained at a gym. Awesome. Yeah, tell them I said hello too. So I was stronger. I'm a little weaker now, but I've been trying to just work out more for health reasons. Plus, I eat a lot of junk. We're all food, Maine's Food Reviews. You guys, love food. We love food. So that's why I try to, keep up with the working out. I get worried, but I do have that gallstone, and they said it's 11 centimeters or 11 millimeters. I think they said centimeters. So, I mean, I got to be careful on what I'm eating, and it sucks because like I'll watch Maine's Food Reviews, and they're making this good stuff, or they're doing these awesome reviews. That's why I tried the Greg. That's why I tried the orange creamsicle thing at Wendy's a few weeks back on that video because I matter of fact, there's been quite a few items that I've tried because I saw your short on the item. I watch your videos all the time. So I don't comment much, but I've been watching you guys from the start. You remember I did the Chinese video. I'm flexing in the restaurant. Everybody's looking up. I figured, hey, it's for a food review. But I love you guys from the start. I'm glad your channel's doing good and you guys are moving up. And like I said, that's how I cleaned up smoking stuff. Like I said, I left a few the vape ones on, but I'm probably gonna pull them. They had some good views, but my channel's this, and yeah, I'm a religious guy too, not as much as you guys are. I probably should go to church more and whatnot. But I kind of felt that having stuff like that is going to offend people like yourselves that are going to come to my channel and then now have to look at that, which obviously I know you guys aren't going to approve of. You may accept it in some way, you may not, which I can understand. I was once there before that. And I do need to try to break that habit because it is an addiction and it sucks. And I've always been a proponent on the legalization of marijuana, but it can lead down to dark roads and it can keep you sheltered and it can keep you under constraints. So it's not the best stuff for you, and I'm going to tell you that from a guy that's been smoking since 1998, and it's horrible for your lungs and the rest of your body, your testosterone, everything. It's terrible. So I didn't want to offend like guys like you, Greg. So I figured, you know what, I'm gonna pull that, and I'm not gonna do any more videos on that because I don't want people coming in from the food community getting offended by that stuff. I don't think it's right. It's not fair that I impede what I'm doing, and I'm not one of those guys that thinks because I can, I will. That's kind of a stupid mentality. So that's what I meant when I said to you guys the other night. I've been trying to clean it up. All right, yeah, thank you, Zoo CC. Thank you for being here for a bit. So yeah, Greg. So that's what I meant when I said to Chris on there that I'm cleaning it up a bit. I pulled that stuff. Uh, yeah, so I mean that's what I had meant by that. Yeah, how was that? Good? Saucy nuggets and the cheese. It ah, how was a saucy nugget? What type of sauce? Yeah, no worries. Yeah, I figured it'd help you guys come to the channel better. I didn't want to give you guys mixed. I understand. You know, your mindset in a way. I'm not saying I understand who you are, but I'm saying I understand feelings and whatnot, and I don't think it's a good look. You want to come to my channel, and I don't want to have anything on there that's gonna make you guys second guess. Who I am and what I'm trying to do. So I figured, I respect you guys, and I love how you guys pray before you eat, and I love how you give thanks to God and whatnot, because I think it's important, and I give you guys credit for doing that, because in these times, you could risk losing subscribers over that, because nobody wants to really talk about it or admit because of the times that we're in. So I give you guys all the credit for doing that, enough respect. And that's actually the reason why I pulled that stuff. So there might be mysterious ways that work, but it was actually wanting you guys to come over to my channel more since I'm always over there. I know you guys were always leery. You didn't leave many comments. You started to a little bit, and I was thinking, maybe it's some of that content I'm putting on there. So something was telling me to get rid of it. And I'm not sure if you guys were thinking that, but you might have been, and I know many people might as well. So that was the whole logic behind that premise. The ghost pepper. Oh, ghost pepper, really hot. Ah, okay. Well, that'll mess me up with the gallbladder. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I try. I try to tone down the antics a bit. I'm gonna once I meet the threshold on YouTube, I've gone through the whole process, which is pretty cool. I'm actually quite surprised that even happened. So hopefully I'll meet the threshold within another month. And then once I can link up the account and stuff and I kind of see what's rolling in a little bit right now, then yeah. Yeah, I know that, but that's why I pulled it because I want you guys more comfortable coming to my channel. And I respect you guys, so, and that stuff deters from it. And I don't really, it was one of those things where I'm like, it's not necessary. And I was kind of like, not really wanting to do it, but I thought it would bring more viewers. But the viewers it's going to bring aren't the viewers that I want per se, in the sense of, I'm looking to grow within the food community. With you guys, I want to be able to be recommended. So it's kind of like on a job application, where you put, yeah, I smoke. Well, you're not going to get hired. You know what I'm saying? It's not good. It's not a good thing to put. So it's like It's like the same thing. You guys are going to come on, and it's my application here. You're going to see that. You're going to turn away. You're not going to recommend someone to my channel. It's principle. You know, what are you going to recommend somebody to my channel that you have stuff that you don't agree with? You guys aren't going to say you're non-judgmental, but I know you're going to think that. You know, it's human nature. So I wanted everybody to be comfortable, and that's why basically did what I did. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I'm trying. Yeah, but my watch out, I've noticed I only get between like 2 and 6 minutes, even on my long videos. From when it shows you the so I get a lot of views, but I don't. They're not watched totally. So I may get 1,000 views on a 20-minute video, but the watch time is usually like 4 to 6 minutes. So I'm not, so I mean, I'm trying to, kind of understand all this whole and then trying to get better at, and like I said, I've been trying to cut the annex, but I do have, little bad OCD, bad anxiety, little depression and stuff. So, I mean, sometimes if I'm extra stressed or, you know, whatnot, or if I have a lot on my head and I start acting out a bit, it kind of helps me forget a bit, but I'm trying to tone that down. Camera. No, eventually I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna get a mic and I'm gonna get a camera eventually. I think that's gonna help. The other thing is, which I explained before, I have a Galaxy 5, and I just found out a few weeks ago that I'm so overdue for an upgrade that I have like 900 and something dollars credit. So I got to get to the cell phone store, Verizon there, and I got to upgrade this phone, so I won't have to buy the phone, which is good. So I'll only have to still pay my service fee that I'm paying now, and that's gonna help. And then yeah, once I meet that threshold and stuff, I think I'm gonna grab a camera and a mic. Definitely, I think I'll get a camera and a mic because I think that'll help a bit. Because I know the color's probably off, and I think from the cell phone, I don't think the angle's right. Yeah. Well, I saw this cool mic you had, Greg. I know you're technical, Greg. I'm not like that. I'm not too good with you guys. You seem pretty savvy with this gaming and hooking stuff up and knowing what so it's hard for me to figure stuff out. It was wicked hard to figure out how to go through the whole process of the monetization. Like I was like to the point where I almost gave up, like trying to figure out, how to get the password, how to get take the picture of the license, how to do this, how to do that. I'm like, gee. So luckily I was able to talk to somebody on YouTube, a rep that actually helped me understand how to get to it and whatnot. Because they always like go to YouTube Studio, so I go to the studio. But since I turned on all the apps that I have on since monetization, I don't see anything like I used to. So I'm like, well, where are they having me go? What am I doing here? And then, so I talked to the guy and I was able to figure everything out. So I was proud of myself for doing that. But I see you and you sound that mic seems pretty cool. Really small, but I bet you it comes in real nice. And I love the video. Excuse me. I love the videos you guys do too. Uh, definitely. Your videos are great. Um, One of my favorite ones still to the day is when you guys did the sub video when it was like 5 in the morning, and you and Chris split the sub, and you guys were saying you were gonna walk the whole day, and then you're eating, and you're like, look at that cheese, and I kept rewinding, I kept hitting it 10 seconds back. Look at that cheese, but the way you said, look at that cheese, it made me want a piece of cheese. It was the weirdest thing. It was still one of my favorite videos. And another video I really liked, there was a few you look pretty good in with a sweater on when you're doing those pizza review videos and there's like one or two pizza restaurants that you've done reviews in, and the pizza actually looks pretty good. The Chinese looked a little interesting. I was curious how good the Chinese is up in Maine. Always loved going to Maine on vacation as a kid. I remember I'd go to a few places, Cape Cod a lot, but thank you, Zach. Awesome. Thank you so much for the support too, everybody. But yeah, Maine is cool. Maine's a nice place. There's really good seafood up there. How are you doing today, Zach? Well, I hope. Yeah, thank you. Trying. It's hard. I'm definitely more comfortable now doing these videos. Like I said, that's why, you'll see me at work and you're probably like, or, where I'm at there, working, you're probably like, this guy looks like he's crazy. But it's like, I get into the personality, so it's like all of a sudden, like I had said before, if you ever see Over the Top with Stallone, the kind of turns the hat around and becomes the animal. It's like one of those things where, once I get in front of the camera, it's like, all right, food train Mike. Yeah, I remember you guys went to the buffet and the lady didn't want you sitting at a table because she said you wouldn't fit. Horrible, horrible. I was shocked when you had said that. I was like, who would do that? I'm like, guys there to eat. Let the guys eat. They're gonna know what they can fit in. I don't think you're gonna go to a table that you can't fit in. I mean, come on. I'm not making any insinuation or anything, but I'm just saying, like, I thought that was just total hogwash. And I think I even commented on the channel about that. But that actually looks like some good Chinese. Yeah, Waterville, Bangor. Yeah, okay, that's high up there. Wow, that's way at the top. That's way at the top. Doing great. Just got off. Nice. Nah, not bad, Zach. Not bad. Just hanging out. Did some shopping today. Got my lemons, got my Granny Smith apples. I got some nice organic cherries and some radishes. I did a video. It's probably already posted where I did a little mix of some Granny Smith apples with some. But and Greg and Chris, I know Chris, you always talk about fiber. I'm going to tell you guys something right now. Granny Smith are the better ones, but any apple, cut up a few apples. All right, put them in a bowl. Take a little black pepper. Take some red wine or even better, balsamic vinegar, throw it on there, and take some sea salt or some Himalayan salt, even regular salt. I think the Himalayan tastes better, but even regular salt, and throw that on there. I'm telling you, right, and throw in a few carrots. If you really wanted to, you could throw in like some. I love the Olive Garden Italian dressing. You throw some of that in, or like the Wishbone Robusto. Even throw in a little bit of that. I'm telling you right now, you're gonna love those apples. It's almost like eating sweet and sour general, just in some like fruit way. But it'll give you good fiber. You get like 5 grams of fiber in apple, Chris and Greg. And I know Chris, you're talking about fiber all the time. So you guys, if you have that like twice a day, morning and night, you're going to get 10 grams of fiber. You're going to get good benefits from the vinegar. It's going to be good for your guys' blood. Going to be good for your guys, kidney health, bladder health, liver health with the vinegar. You even take some radishes and throw them in. You throw in a little extra salt. You're not going to taste it. And then you throw those carrots in, and it's even better because of the crunch. No, all right. Well, try to. It's not. You can get the cheap stuff too. It's like a few bucks, but try to do that. I'm curious if you guys would like that. And it would be healthy. It's good for your system too with the vinegar, and it's an easy way to kind of because apples are good, but sometimes after a while it's like it's a pain. You got to cut it and then but chop it up, but it's not too bad. It's not too bad. So it's definitely something worth a try on. If you guys can, Um, but since I've had this gallstone, Greg and Chris, you guys have any issues with gallstones ever? What about you, Greg? I'm not insinuating anything, but I know I was just curious. I know you always say your cholesterol and blood sugar is good. Do you ever have any gall pain, like up here in the upper, like where you press in and it feels like a stabbing pain? You ever get that? None, huh? Wow, look, a skinny guy like me, I'm 120 pounds, guys. And see, that's where I'm going to say something right here, right now. I'm going to say something here. There's so many ignorant schmucks out there that look at somebody that's overweight, obese, a little overweight, thick, really obese or whatnot, and they always think that they're the ones with the major health problems. And I say to myself, a lot of it's metabolic. And I tell people, I'm like, there's people out there that eat next to nothing and that are severely overweight because of metabolic issues and eating too much carb, eating too much sugar, not eating it the right stuff, not eating enough, not eating that many times a day. Look at me. I had an A1C that was a 5.7. Now it's a 5.3. That's still kind of high. I'm only 120. You see all the working out I do. I do physical work 4 days a week. I'm moving all the time. I'm lifting stuff all the time. I'm standing all the time. I'm doing, all right, steps this week, guys, all right, that I've already done between cardio and between at work. I've done already 54,361 steps since Sunday. All right? So that with all that, and I have these issues. All right, guys, I'll see you. So I just want everybody to know that just because somebody is that way, don't ever think that they have more health problems or they're that way because they overeat, because that's not the case. And you take somebody like me, I have some issues, and I'm a skinny dude, and you look at me and think, nah, I got to be careful, and it sucks because I'm 47, and now, I got to get, now I'm older, and uh, yeah, yeah, I know. Oh, nice, guys, nice. Good. Yeah, Greg, I know you're going to get that. I mean, yeah, but it is what it is, man. I mean, there's no need to judge you. You're a good guy. You guys seem like great people. I mean, who cares? All you guys got to do is work out. You guys know that. You work out, eat a little change in a few things. It's not a big deal, and it's nothing to be ashamed about. Yeah, just keep walking. It's the best thing you guys can do. Try adding some apple cider vinegar with some fresh lemon and drink that before your walk or while you're walking. Make something up like with 48 ounces of water and squeeze in a few lemon in there. And, if you can tolerate, throw some cayenne pepper and some paprika even with some apple cider vinegar and drink that while you're walking. It'll raise your metabolism, help flush you out, and it'll help prevent any type of adrenal, kidney, liver, any health issues with that. Yeah, try that. Another thing you guys can try, I don't know if you have a blender, but if you get whole lemons and you cut them up and you blend them whole, and you add some raw garlic to it, some apple cider vinegar, and you can also add some fresh ginger root is great. You don't really taste it. Blend it up, and if you have olive oil, add a tablespoon of olive oil to that. That's going to also help your cholesterol and your blood and the lubrication of your arteries and your capillaries and whatnot. Your arteries will get really lubricated drinking raw olive oil. And the best way to do it is throwing in a blend like that because you don't taste it. You do not taste it. I do 2 tablespoons, and I do not taste it. It's wonderful. It's a little hard to get down, but it will benefit you greatly. So that's another idea too. You cut up the whole lemon, the seeds, if they don't bother you, the whole thing, the skin, everything. Wash it, cut it up, one whole one. Take some raw garlic, cut up a clove, let it sit 10 minutes. Always let your garlic sit because it brings out more of the allicin in it, the compounds that are medicinal, the healing. So you let it sit 10 to 15. I just usually do 10 minutes. Throw that in, cut it up, throw it in after 10 minutes. Get some raw ginger root, cut up what you can do. I'm up to about that much now, but I would start with something small for now. Cut up your raw ginger root. If you find raw turmeric, get that, cut it up. Or you could use some turmeric, ground turmeric. Make sure it's organic. If you get ground turmeric, you could throw half a teaspoon, like half a teaspoon up in there. Blend that up. Now that's going to be good for you guys. And you want to talk about immunity. You want to talk about health. You want to talk about prevention of colds and flus and catching stuff from people. You start blending some garlic and those lemons and adding that olive oil to it with the ginger. you got yourselves a health cocktail right there like no other. And that's the other good thing about drinking that stuff. So you guys might want to try that. It's kind of tough, but it's good. It's good. Well, triglycerides is a fat in the blood. And diabetes is obviously, too much blood sugar. So what happens with type 2 is your pancreas, you get insulin resistant and your pancreas secretes too much of it. So you become type 2, which can turn type 1 if you render the pancreas inactive through abusing type 2. Now, if you have too much sugar in the body and you're eating a lot of fats and you have a lot of sugar from grains and refined carbs and candy and whatnot, your risk of heart attack and stroke are going to go up greatly from the amount of higher cholesterol and triglycerides in the body because of the excess sugar. The sugar scratches the arteries, and the cholesterol goes to that to mend that, to heal it, and it actually it actually causes a lot of problems. So if you are a diabetic, you're gonna have problems with fat, and I probably would believe cholesterol metabolism because you have such high sugar in the blood that it can trickle down and cause issues there. I don't think triglycerides causes diabetes. I think diabetes would actually be a contributor to a high triglyceride count if you have high cholesterol to begin with. Diabetes can cause a lot of issues, a lot with the eyes, a lot with metabolic issues, circulation issues, skin issues and whatnot. But it is going to complicate things with cholesterol. If you have high cholesterol, you will be more prone to heart attack or stroke. But I do not think high triglycerides causes diabetes. I think it's more of a byproduct through having diabetes, rightfully said. Through the research I've done, like I said, I'm not any expert. I just do a lot of reading, a lot of research. So yeah, yeah, yeah. And remember, to get triglycerides down, you want to add, like I was saying, that raw olive oil. You want to cut up whole lemons and blend them whole. Throw a radish in there, whole. Um, Throw some cherries in there, whole. Throw the raw garlic, like I said. Throw the ginger in there, raw ginger. Cut it up. Take the skin off it. Throw it in there if you can. Take the turmeric, take the skin off. Throw it in there if you can. Blend it up. That will help lower. And then take the olive oil and put it in there, 1 to 2 tablespoons in the morning. Upon I would say before you eat anything, you want to drink this, and it will help lower cholesterol, and it will help lower triglycerides, and it will help you in that process. And it also helps with insulin sensitivity and blood sugar and whatnot. It can help with that from what I've read. But very good for like kidney, adrenal, bladder health, and very good to prevent kidney stones as well. I'm gonna have to turn you guys to the side. Guess I'm losing battery here. All right, hold on. Let me go this way. Yeah. So yeah. All right. All right. Good. Hold on. Let me make sure we're okay. We're all right. Yeah. So I'm not gonna be able to. I can keep it this way. Sorry, guys. All right. Oh wait. Oh, that's not gonna work. All right. Well. Yeah. No worries. No worries. Oh, having a thunderstorm, huh? Yeah. That's got. I like thunderstorms. I was just worried about losing power. Yeah, with a vegan diet, you could quinoa, a lot of rice, basmati rice, avocados. You could do 1 to 2 cups of basmati rice with a whole avocado, with some black olives and some carrots, an apple cut up, with some vinegar on it. And there's a good meal right there. Yeah, a lot of avocados, uh, rice, rice and beans, chickpeas, salads. Um, yeah, you can get pea protein if you want, but I don't think you really need protein. I think you mostly eat, and I'd stay away. Excuse me, get like bean burgers and stuff. I'd stay away from that plant-based meat stuff because it's all soy. You want to be careful with soy. And if you eat soy, just get the block of it. All that stuff's too processed. Like they auction that burger at Burger King as being healthy. That's the worst thing you could eat. The other ones are safer. The estrogens that are in that burger right there will make a man infertile. Or it could. So you got to be careful with the soy. But I would say if you're going to use soy, you get the block of it and cut it up. Um, but I would work on a lot of beans if you can. Chickpeas maybe even over the beans, depending on how beans are in your stomach. A lot of rice, and you're gonna want to eat bean burgers. You're gonna you may want to add some tofu in there. Um, and you don't eat any shellfish, right? No fish, no eggs, straight vegan. Any eggs, Ben? Yeah, no, I tried the Health Channel, guys, but that didn't go far. I don't have to, I'm not qualified enough. I have good information to share like this, but not good enough to make a platform on. I'm better at the ASMR. Yeah, I definitely don't have enough in me to maintain a base on that. Okay, no eggs or fish. Yeah, you're gonna want to go with a little soy. You get the block. Get some of the circus peanuts that you shell, raw peanuts, raw almonds, raw walnuts, raw walnuts, raw almonds, raw peanuts. Make a mix of those, a lot of them, and eat them, a lot of them. A little bit of tofu and beans and rice. Eat a lot of that stuff. Very high caloric, very nutrient dense, a lot of avocados. Eat a few avocados a day, a few bowls of rice, a few bowls of chickpeas, stuff like that. You'll be able to pack them calories in. Definitely. Yeah, well, really, from what I've heard, the best diet's all fruit. All fruit, they say, is the best diet. No meat, no dairy, nothing but fruit. And honestly, I don't believe that we need protein as much as they say. I don't believe we need all that. I believe we should all be just eating fruit, but that's a tough one. But all fruit supposedly can heal a lot of ailments, and it's the only diet that, if you stay on it, that will actually allow your kidneys to pee out lymphatic fluid. And the people that are on these raw fruit diets actually show mason jars of urine, and in the bottom is sediment and it's lymph. And they say once you start filtering that lymphatic fluid like that, you start healing the body of the ailments that you have. So I think the best diet is all fruit. So I'll say to you that you can definitely do on the vegan. Even if you add a couple bagels with peanut butter in there, that's, two bagels a day with 4 tablespoons of peanut butter is going to give you a definitely glycemic boost. So if you're trying to gain weight, have a bagel with peanut butter. With hummus is another great thing. You have a bagel with hummus. You could have a bagel with peanut butter on one side, hummus on the other. Put it together. Have a cup of basmati rice. Have an apple. Have some carrots. Um, put some dressing on it if you want. Put some nice blue cheese, get some calorie there, get a little bit of protein, put some nice blue cheese on it. Blue cheese would be great on the apples too. Make a nice salad even. Throw the apples in the salad, put the nice blue cheese up in there, put some vinegar in there, or just put some vinegar and some olive oil in there. Get that rawness. And you'll be able to drink the oil, drink olive oil. Um, Drink the olive oil too. Use a lot of olive oil. You get 130 calories a tablespoon. So if you use 4 tablespoons of olive oil in a day, plus your peanut butter and everything, two or three servings of olive oil with 2 servings of peanut butter and a couple bagels is going to put you way over 1,000 calories right there. Now add in your beans, your rice. You could easily get to 2,000 calories in 3 or 4 meals, easily. And then you could repeat that to make it easier, and you could build your diet that way. Thank you, Dean. I try. I've just been researching from '08, '07, '08. Um, so yeah, strict carnivore is going to be wonderful. You'll hit ketosis, Greg and Chris, and you'll use your fat for fuel. Carnivore is definitely something to try. You're going to keep your carbs 30 grams or less, 50 to 30, no more than 50. And oh yeah, your A1C will drop tons within a week, 2 weeks. You lose fat 10 pounds a week. You could lose 5, 10. You guys walk in this heat and go carnivore. And carnivore, you guys can have bacon, eggs, all that good stuff. And there's recipes out there using different things to make keto, pancakes and keto pizza and stuff with like almond flour. And you use a little bit of sauce if you count that as you could. There's different things you could do, and it'd be cool for your channel. And if you do show a weight loss, that's going to even make more people come, more viewers and more subs, because everybody likes to see progress. But I don't judge. I don't say, but I'm telling you, if you guys want to lose a little bit and you want to be easy with it and not have to kill yourselves working out and going through the struggles like I do, uh, get on that carnivore and get on walking. Do 2 miles, do another 2 miles, bump it up to 2.5 miles. 2.5 miles, make it 3 miles. Then when you guys can, start doing a little jog. What you guys want to do when you walk, honestly, walk at a good pace, and then walk to where you can't breathe. Walk to where just stop, and then walk slow. Walk slow for a minute or two, and then move again. Move again until you can't breathe. And then really breathe while you're doing it. Get them lungs pumping. Get that body ready. Because, God knows only what we're going to be going through later in these times. So get that respiratory system in check. And the best way to do it is by doing that. You don't have to do it your whole walk. Start with like 5 minutes. Just do like a 5-minute interval and then continue to walk. And it makes it more fun. You sweat more. You sweat out the toxins. It just makes it so much better. And I think you guys would benefit from doing that. Yeah, God bless you too, dear. God bless everybody on here. Definitely. Definitely God bless. It's the way we got to be nowadays, But yeah, I would try that. I would try that. Hold on one quick second there. Hold on 1 minute. I got to check something. Hold on, guys. Yeah, sorry about that. I thought I heard something. Whoa, I almost fell. But yeah, keto will be good. Keto will be good. If yeah, if you can definitely try that. And what's nice with carnivore, and you guys don't have any issues with your gallbladder or anything, so you guys can really tear it up, is the bacon. You can make bacon, eggs, sausage, cheese. You can eat all that Velveeta you want, um, steaks, all kinds of stuff. So it's definitely something to try, because I know it's hard to do, like back in like 08, 09, 010, I was really dieting hard, and I would write everything down, and I was doing like 5, 6 meals a day. And I would go Monday through Saturday eating as clean as I could, And then Sunday, I would go from sun up to sundown eating anything I wanted. I'd go from, yeah, I'd have, just anything I wanted. Cookies, McDonald's, pizza. I'd eat to the point, and then, you got to wake up Monday, you feel like crap. It would get to a point where, you'd be dieting, you'd be midweek, like Wednesday, Thursday, and if you had like a cookie or a chip, it'd be like you never had it before. Like, I remember, and I went vegan for like 2 months. Man, I was taking apple cider vinegar and water. I was making broccoli, beans, and was almost throwing up. So I would just chew it and then slug it down to get it down. I mean, I was doing broccoli steamed. I was doing black beans, like a cup of it. I was eating brown rice, nothing on it. A little bit of hot sauce and a little bit of mustard I was using, and it was her. I was doing blends with, like, broccoli and blueberries and strawberries and rice milk, and stuff like that. And I got to a point where I couldn't do it anymore. So 2 months later, I go to the McDonald's drive-through, and this is where they had the dollar menu still. And I got the double. I think it was a buck, and I got two of them fries. And I remember eating it, and I'm like, whoa. I was like, this ice tastes like something I've never had before. Like, it was just so good because it was like 2 months. It was only 2 months. And, then I got some pizza the next day, and then, I obviously. But, yeah. How are you, Ben? Nice. Thank you. But yeah, I mean, I've had some times. I've had some fun times. And I always enjoy the dollar menu at McDonald's back when it was. I remember when I was a kid back in the '80s. McDonald's was like so good, and they used to double cheeseburgers. First off, their ice cream sundaes, they use ice milk, so it was like granular, and if you let it sit, it would almost turn into milk. Like, it was weird, and it was gritty a little bit, but it was phenomenal. Some of the best ice cream I ever had in my life. I'm not crapping here. And then they used to have with their salads, they had this really good blue cheese dressing. It would come in a blue packet. And at that time, McDonald's would have this little area right in between the registers, and you could see the salad set up in the dressings. And I'd always get the blue cheese. And at the time, they would have croutons, bacon bits, and the Chinese noodles, these little noodles. So I would always ask my mom to get me the salad packet without the salad, just the toppings for it, the blue cheese dressing. I'd get the double cheeseburger meal with fries and a Coke and a sundae. And then I would take the burger plain, and I'd take the top off of it. I put the blue cheese on it, put the croutons on it, the bacon bits, and the Chinese noodles, and top it and dunk it in the blue cheese. I will tell you, to this day, that I would prefer to be able to go back and eat those burgers like that versus any restaurant yet to date that I've been at and had any type of meal in. Any five-star place I've been in, any nice place, any place I've been in where I spent, where the plates were 20 or 30 bucks. This cheeseburger from the 80s at McDonald's. Same with Wendy's. Back, Wendy's in the 80s is totally different than it was now. The burgers were juicy and tasted real and just had a different taste. It's not like it is now. It's not that stale, processed, sometimes good, sometimes bad flavor. Like, Wendy's was really a very good place to go. Um, Been vegan 5 years. Wow, that's pretty good. Yeah, vegan. Sorry, I give you credit, Ben. Vegan's tough. Like I said, I just made it 2 months trying, and it was hard. It was definitely difficult. 5 months, but yeah, I mean, everything was different. There were a lot of good places. I miss back in the day too. There were a lot of buffet places, a lot of places you could go. A lot of places you could go that would have stations set up where you'd have your carving station, your waffle station, your dessert station. I kind of miss that stuff. It's just different now. That's all right. No, vegan's good. It's healthier. There's controversy on meat. Some are saying that they've been on carnivore for, many years and it's healed ailments and it's lowered inflammation and you don't have to worry about cholesterol or fat really. Well, a little bit fat in the blood, I'm sure, but cholesterol because oh, I love the Baconator. Great sandwich. But when you don't have carbs and you don't have sugars and refined stuff and you're eating all meat, cholesterol isn't an issue. You don't have to worry about it. If it's 250 total cholesterol, you're fine because you don't have anything that's going to complicate it. You have one source. It's almost like, going primitive in a way, you know? So, but then there's some that say too much meat, especially if it's not organic and you're not getting it from a butcher, there's carcinogens, and then something has parasite issues, and there's, the same with fruit and vegetables, all those parasite issues. So, and working in a garden, you parasite issues, and having animals, parasite issues. And so everything's parasite issues. Being with a girl and a guy through contact, you can catch parasites, I've read. So through contact like that, uh, you can pass parasites. So something to show about that, huh? But anyways, so what I'm getting at is some would say, I know it's truth though, Ben. They gotta look up parasites. It'll scare the living heck out of you when you start reading stuff. Even kissing, you can like candida, different stuff like that. Supposedly you can also infect a person as well. Um, but more through other contact, but kissing can from what I read, and I've read it from multiple sources, so I'm not sure. But anyways, back to the so that's with the carnivore, and you get a lot of good stuff, but they say that it can cause a lot of bowel cancer, colon cancer, and it's a dead food. You're cooking it, it's dead. There's no life to it. Yes, they are, and I never knew that as a kid. Um, but basically, yeah, yeah, and it's gonna, yeah, oh, yeah, they are real. But so it's just different perspectives on the meat. With fruit, and vegetables, you're eating life, and if you get them organic or you get them from farm, you're eating stuff that has life to it. It's carbon based. It's not an acid. You watch these guys on YouTube and they explain it, and they're like, well, you look at a car battery and it corrodes, and it's like, well, acids make things corrode, and what is proteins? They're amino acids. They're composed of an acidic base. Fruits and vegetables are more of a carbon base. They're neutral. So it's like, okay, well, if you're going to eat a bunch of stuff that's acidic, it's probably going to make everything else acidic, right? You eat just a lot of stuff that's non-acidic and carbon-based, it's going to give you more life, more energy, more rejuvenation. Should be better for your mitochondria. Should be better for your whole system. So there's always both sides of the coin. And then with the all meat, with the butters and the tallows and the ghees and everything, you're going to probably increase testosterone. You might look a little better. You might, yes, kissing disease. Well, that's mono. Mono too. I think mono might be parasitic also. Or is that's actually bacterial, I think, or viral. No, it's actually bacterial or viral, but there might be something to do with parasite to mono because I've been reading a lot of things on parasites and disease. So there could be a correlation there, Chris and Greg. Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. You don't think of all this stuff, And then if you don't know what the other person has done with their mouth, I got to keep it PG here, and then you're doing stuff, you don't know what you're passing, you don't know what, and when you touch a door handle, you just don't know. I always was the theory, just lick a door handle because it's better to contract all this stuff, not that stuff, but I'm saying viruses and bacteria, and actually get antibodies and antigens to fight them, instead of
being too germophobic where you're not letting yourself get these things. So at least you can have a better immunity to fighting stuff off that may come in the future being stronger. That's why so much of us survived COVID, because as kids, we had flus, colds, pneumonias, everything so much that COVID's going to come. But growing up with this, our immune system has developed enough antibodies and antigens that it's going to fight. And through our T3 helpers, I think it's T3, our T cells, I mean, not T3, that's acupuncture lumbar, my bad. Thoracic and acupuncture, I mean, but your T cells, your helper T's that are going to help fight in the white blood cell fight upon disease and infection, are what are going to be stimulated, and obviously are going to be helping you with those antibodies and antigens. They're going to be assisting the process. So by being able to do that, and getting some of these things, and even like the flu, if you're healthy for the most part, and you've gotten the flu, but you've survived it, then sometimes maybe you may need to second guess that flu shot. I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of stuff in it. There's a lot of mercury. There's a lot of byproducts. So I mean, you got to be careful. But sometimes people worry a little too much, and just let yourself get some of this, and build your immunity up, because we don't know what we're going to be hit with next. We don't know what the next COVID's going to be. So we want to prepare our bodies for that, and we want to be able to have a defense. So be careful on the vaccinations and the shots and the stuff that comes up as we're older, as us watching here, guys like me, Greg, Chris. Not sure how old you are, Ben, but even teenagers, your kids, whatever, watch that, watch what you're putting in to your people, because sometimes it's better for kids to get the flus and stuff without the shots, to get that immunity. Awesome, to get it, and then build up that defense, so they're not immunosuppressive when they get hit with something that it's a different strain or something, and then you can't get the inoculation for it. Now you're in a worse thing. Yeah, there's issues with them, and it sucks. And yes, yeah, they make it. They advertise it. The CDC can be the biggest liar of the book. And people are going to believe that. A doctor goes to school 10 years, but they learn from a textbook. They learn through knowledge that was presented in front of them by man. And we all know man doesn't have all the answers, and man is not the smartest, and man doesn't know it all like we all think. You got like Stephen Hawkins out there. Oh, there's no God because God didn't have time to create the universe. Well, what the heck do you know about time to create the universe, where the universe is infinite in time? The future's already there, because the future's cut asteroid 3 million miles away coming towards us right now. You know what I'm saying? Would come at is coming at us now. So it's like the future's coming as much as it's going. So everything's happening at once. You know? Yes, very true, Greg. Correct. Yes. Yes. Yes, God does. And that's the point of it all. That's definitely the point of it all. You know, we need to be more God focused, and that will help us see these things. It's like the universe is infinite and timeless, and we don't know God's time, right, Greg and Chris? We don't know His time on His watch. We don't know what a year or 10 years or a billion years or whatnot is to God, in seconds or milliseconds or microseconds or whatever. And He has plenty of time. He has all the time in the world, right? Nothing comes from nothing. You can't just have a big bang without somebody orchestrating that. It's impossible. There's factors that coincide that make things happen. And yes, yeah. And Hawkins, I thought he was all right. I respected him a little bit, but then I started listening to him, and I'm like, come on, don't deter people. You don't know as much as you think you know. You know, no time. There's no God because there was no. What I say? There's no God because there was no time for it. Like, that makes absolutely no sense. That's totally irrelevant. You know, it's just hogwash. But I mean, I don't get into it on the channel either, like you guys, Greg and Chris. I definitely don't. Yeah, nice. Yes. It's definitely something I don't talk. Doing a live like this is cool. It seems like we're all on the same page, which is good. Uh, but I'm one of those guys where we can talk politics, we talk religion. I'll respect your view, but I like to talk and share and then smile and shake hands after, not get upset, stomp out, act like a kid. And I think that's the problem too with politics. It's always I'm right, you're wrong, he's right, she's wrong, he did this, I did that, you did that, they did that. But then uh uh what is it? Epstein Island, and all these actors. Thank you. Yes, try. Yeah, Epstein Island. All these actors with underage boys and girls going to the island. Puff Daddy taking Justin Bieber for a weekend, molesting him. And, you say to yourself, these guys are allowed to do that, huh? Yeah, that's interesting. Now, if I had a boathouse somewhere and I had a bunch of underage boys and girls come to my boathouse, God forbid, you know what I mean? I'd be in prison for life. I'd be jail. I'd be killed in jail. But yet, politicians, Tom Hanks, I hear, you know, um, all these people go to Epstein Island and do that sick, heinous stuff to these poor kids. It's not right. It's not right, and they're allowed to just go scot free, right? They're allowed to make a joke of it, like, oh no, it's fine. It's a sick world out there, guys, and I'm sorry to have to look at it, to be honest with you, because I can't handle any of that stuff. I don't think child molesters get it right. I think I always tell people that I believe there should be stiffer penalties. I believe there should be. I don't believe they should have rights in jail. I believe just send them to the prisoners and let them do what they do. You take a kid's innocence from them, you don't deserve life after that, in my opinion, because that stays with him or her for the rest. And it can ruin their identity forever. And they can turn to drugs, they can turn to homelessness, or they can just turn to just straight no self worth for the rest of their life. And that's, yeah, for my naughty, I'm Italian. So as a kid, we would have Sunday dinners, and I loved the grated cheese. My naughty would take the Parmesan and grate it herself. And I loved it. So I would always ask if she could, there would be the main cheese for everybody, but I always asked her if I could have my own little cheese on the side that I could eat out of because I used to eat it. So I would take the cheese that everybody used, put it on my stuff, and then take the other cheese and eat it. Now, when I go into restaurants, even to this day, oh, nice. All right. All right. Yeah, I'm 100%. From what I know, I haven't done a DNA thing, like, so I could be something else the way it is these days. But yeah, so I would eat this stuff and my naughty and so if I go to a restaurant even to this day and they have the grated cheese there, I'll use almost all of it. Towards the end, I get out and I pour it on the plate and I'll dunk because when I get pizza, I get house Italian and usually a blue cheese or a ranch, and I will always get fries. So I dunk my pizza, I dunk my crust, I dunk my fry, I dunk everything in the ketchup and the dressings. And you usually at the end of the meal will take the rest of the cheese, dump it out, take my fork, put it in the house Italian dressing or the Italian dressing. If they don't have that, it'll be creamy Italian, and I'll scoop up the cheese and I'll eat it. I just love grated cheese. I could literally eat a tub of freshly grated Romano. I could eat a brick of just straight Romano cut up. I just love cheese. Any type of cheese, brick cheese, uh, Cracker Barrel cheese, any cheese, cheddar. Not so much Monterey Jack, not so much Gouda, but Brie. I love Brie. I'm a cheese dude. Uh, Yeah, I did. Yeah, definitely, because I'm gonna eat it. I'm gonna eat it. I'm gonna eat it. I love the cheese. Cheese is good stuff. I feel like I'm addicted to cheese. Definitely, definitely feel like that. You know? Yeah, Gouda is good. I just haven't had it enough. But some stuff I've had, I've actually enjoyed it. And actually, I believe in French onion soup, which is my favorite soup. And if it's on the menu, I could eat two. Yeah, I could probably eat three. But I do. I think they use Gouda, right, Chris? Do they use? I mean, Greg, do they use Gouda? Oh, I bet you do. Oh, you're in the UK. Nice. I'm hoping. I hope my channel goes more. I love the UK. Always wanted. I love the rap in the UK. There's Morrison. There's Big Nartise. Squeaks. There's some great rappers in the UK. I love UK, especially the drill stuff. English Frank, another awesome UK rapper. Yeah, props up to UK. Hell yeah, I love UK. Heck yeah, I mean, love UK. UK, definitely. Try to, Luke, try to share my stuff out there so you get me out there more in the UK. Heck yeah, good. All right, well, get me out there in the UK. Share my stuff to your friends so I get out there because I love UK. I love, there's a guy that does food reviews. Hey, he brings a table with him. Heavier guy, really cool with an accent, English accent. I'm drawing a blank on his channel, and he always goes to different takeaways, and he sets up his table and then eats. So I love UK. Yeah, heck yeah, UK in the house. Props up UK. Love UK. Yeah, rate my takeaway. Love that guy. Love him. Yeah. Yeah, UK. Nice. Nice. Small Gouda, yeah. Yeah. So, like I said, Greg and Chris, if you're there too, the onion soup's my favorite. You guys like onion soup? The French onion. I do love a good thick clam chowder too. I'm not gonna lie. And I've had a good lobster bisque. I'm not crazy about lobster because it's a little, but I do like I do like some lobster though. Um, yeah, please do, Luke. Yeah, rate my takeaway. Yeah, French onion's the best. As a kid, my stepfather used to. My mother remarried, and my stepfather always. He's actually the one that got me into the blue cheese. There was a restaurant called Copperfields back in the day, J.R. Copperfields, and we would go in there, and he'd always get a burger and get the gorgonzola or the blue cheese on top, and I would try it. I'm like, it's too strong. So he's like, Mike, start like this. I'd get the cheeseburger, and he's like, get a side of blue cheese and dunk it. And ever since then, I was hooked. I tried the fries, I was hooked. So that's where and I'm a condiment guy. I love condiments. I love mayo. I love dressings. I love, oils, olive oils, vinegars, things like that.
Dad,
Yeah.
I'm dipping. Can I have your card?
Oh, hold on, guys. All right, here, hold on. All right, All right, use this one, and if there's a problem,
Which
use
one?
that one.
Use this one?
No, use that one.
Okay.
And if there's a problem, use the other one.
Thank you.
All right, have fun. Love you.
Love you.
All right, sorry guys. I get hit up for money. I had to give out a credit card. That's what's tough because I'm leasing a car right now, and it's a 2022 Hyundai Sonata, and it's cost me $275 a month for the freaking thing, and $200 a month for insurance, and I gave the guys 10 grand for the car. I had 14,000 saved 3 years ago, and I gave them 10 grand to get the low payment. I had like 4,000. I'm like, oh, now I'm gonna get some bass because I had a Jeep back in the day, and I had 215s, JL Audios with a jail with a Hey, they're upstairs, right? Or not? Hold on a sec.
No.
Oh, here we are. Sorry.
Thanks.
All right. Hi. All right, sorry guys. So yeah, so I had the car. I had two 15s. I had what amp that? Oh, what amp did I have? Was it an Alpine amp? I don't remember what amp it was. But anyways, I had two 15 jail audios. So I had two 12s. I got them at Tweeter. Upgraded to two 50s. They were good. Okay. I'll see you soon, man. I may pop on yours after. I'm going to go in a few too. I've been on almost 2 hours. Wow, time went by quick. I had a two 15s. They were stolen in an apartment I had. Put the key in one night. Came out the next day. Everything gone. So then bye guys. I got some insurance money, saved some money, and I ended up putting in four 15s. And I did four 15s. I had four 6x9s on the back seat. I had a box with four Memphis, just $100 subs. That was four 15s. And I had a Crossfire amp going to the 15s and another Crossfire amp. It was a 2000. Wait, it was a 1500. Wait, it was 250, 255. It was a 1,000-watt amp going to the sub, so it wasn't much. And I had a 320-watt amp going to the. Okay, no problem, Luke. Going to the highs, and then I had a nice Clarion deck, and it hit pretty good. So I had the four 15s, and then I was taking a in school, and they were stolen. So when I got the car, I had $4,000 saved, and I thought, well, here's my time now, new car, a system. But when I looked around I just wanted like a couple 12s. They were pretty like 400, like 350 a piece, and a good amp, just something to bang hard, like in 150 decibel range. And the price was like gonna be like $6,000. They wanted like 2,000 in labor. It was gonna be like 20 hours of labor at $120 a freaking hour. So it'd be like $2,200 or something for the labor to hook the stereo up. And then I wasn't sure if I'm going to release the car or turn it in. So then I'd have to. I mean, I could have cut the wires, but I don't think I could. I don't think I could turn in the car with all that excess stuff. So I'd have to pay them another $2,000 to pull the stuff out. So it kind of shot my idea, and then I kind of regretted the lease because I was like, if I had just taken the money that I had and bought the pre-owned and just, it took a year and made payments on it, then I would have owned it and within a year. And eventually I probably would have been able to put a stereo in because I wouldn't have been paying so much and whatnot. But I guess it is what it is. But I always miss having the bass in the car. It always just made driving more fun. I always love listening to the music, the bass CDs. It just made driving more fun. I don't really like to drive. It's a pain for me. But when I had a stereo, it made it a lot better. So I kind of miss that. But we'll see we'll see. Only time will tell. No, I've never had African peanut stew. That's good. Oh, nice. Do you have anything, Ben? If I knew how to do it myself, I know that the equipment isn't too bad, but I'm not mechanical. And with a leased car, it'd be kind of hard. Oh, dang. I wish you were near me. Yeah, I always wanted something to hit in like the 150s, like 152, 150, like 155, 150 to 150, 151, 152. It's a nice dB range. 130s, 140s is all right, but 150s kind of makes it pound the street a little bit. It's kind of like being in the car, outside the car when you're going by. And then I do like tweeters though. I love the components and just the sound.
definitely, definitely the sound. Um, I'm a big hip hop guy, techno guy, bass CD guy. So okay. Oh, all right. Yeah, no, it's nice though. It's nice, but you just have a good alarm. Both my systems were stolen. So but they one the 215s was like 2 grand, and I think the 415s at the time installed was only like 2,500 bucks. Stuff was cheaper in the late 90s, mid 90s, early when I got my license at 16. I remember they had setups, 212 hot setup, different high phonics, old school stuff. And it'd be like the for the Jeep, for like the 4 5 1/4s, be like a Clarion tape deck, the box with the 212s, hell, even a bass tube at the time. Those things pounded too. I remember seeing Camaros with like the friggin' 12-inch bass tube in the back seat, and the thing would slam. And the starting prices were like $799, like 800, like $1,000, $1,200 would have got you something that pounded, that hit hard. It's just that old school audio equipment, just bang. The high phonic stuff, the Sherwin Vegas stuff. I remember, yeah, some different stuff. JL Audio, but I heard down the road that they're not really one to more for like sound quality. But there are some thicker mag ones that probably hit pretty hard. But I remember like the Hyphonic stuff was very popular, and there were a few other ones. I know like Sherwin Vega Stroker was a big one. It's like a 750 $800 sub for I think like a 12 or a 15. But I hear if you amp them right, you get one speaker and it can hit like in the 160s from what I heard. I don't know, but the stuff's expensive now. Yeah, I'm kind of shocked. It's like wicked expensive. Talking like, I mean, for a deck and for everything else, not even an alarm. I was priced, not even a deck. It was just subs, installation, and amps and highs. And I was getting prices of like 4 to 6 grand. And that wasn't included a deck. It was the weirdest thing. I thought for 4 grand I'd get the whole thing installed. A couple good 12s, couple amps, the highs, the deck, everything. But it would have been like 6 7 grand with an alarm. Would have been probably close to 7,000. And I'm like, how the hell am I gonna spend? That's like you can buy a car with that. 7 grand for a stereo? Like, who? I don't make that much money where I could spend that much. That's the problem. So it's like I could save that much, and I could spend it, but then I'm like, okay, no, I just spent 7 grand on car audio. But what's nice is with the amp, you have it, and to replace a sub or to replace a high or something isn't going to cost that much. Even if it's a $350 sub, if you blow it, you just spend. It's like something breaks down in the car and you got to spend 500 at the mechanic. Happens all the time, So it's worth it to me once you get it. But the car that I have, I don't know how stable. I don't know if I'm going to keep it, so that's why I never went in on it. Plus, I have other responsibilities, so I'm just trying to save as much as I can and not spend as much as I can, and definitely not blow my money there. Even though it sucks because I obsess about it, but it's just something I can't do. Yeah, I hear you. But if you can, you should. Yeah, well, tires is nice. Well, tires and rims, at least you don't have to worry about those getting ripped off too, And it does cause negative attention. I remember going by malls and a lot of white guys from the town, and not trying to insinuate color, but I'm saying it was weird because there'd be a lot of these guys, and there were a few that were actually coming to my car like they wanted to rip me out of it. It was almost like I was offending them by playing it. If I went into the city or something, they all loved it. But then, like when I go into the towns, everybody would look like they. So it did cause negative attention. So that's another reason why I obsessed about doing it. Because I was like, well, is it really going to cause good attention, or people are going to take too much notice of it? So. But I mean, it sucks because it's something you like. There's nothing better than getting in your car and taking that, sitting back there in the back seat,
having maybe a little nice something to smoke, and just sitting there with your remote control and turning that volume up and just having everything shake. Just having your whole windows vibrate, your whole seat vibrate, everything flexing, the air moving your hair and whatnot. Used to love, I'd light a lighter and the air would just, you couldn't light the lighter when the stereo was going. Never had it where, like, people's hair gets all crazy. That'd be kind of cool. But yeah, true. Yeah, no, they don't, unfortunately. Never really understood why. But yeah, no, I agree. Definitely not. Definitely. It's kind of, I guess it brings I guess, yeah, you're right. I guess it brings a negative attention. I guess it's something about it that they don't like. You know, couldn't figure it out, but it is what it is, I guess. But all right, guys, I'm gonna definitely head out. It's about 2 hours and 10 minutes I've been on, but I appreciate everybody, everybody here. I wonder if yeah, well, we still got eight people on. Anybody have any other questions? So we in live now. 2 hours in, that's crazy. It's funny, I'm actually this comfortable on the camera. First live, I was kind of like, but it's all right, Yeah, no worries. Yeah, I just wish the stuff was less. You could do a little more with it, But I like I love the bass CDs. Those were the best. I was able to I did get these 17s. Oh, New York. I did do some of these. I was able. There was a tire shop, and it was the best. They had these great deals on tire and rim packages, and they took the Jeep, did it right in the parking lot. And they jacked it up, took the old tires off, threw them in the back, and put the rims on. And they were only 17s, but they did look nice. I remember with the 215s, I would go by the stores and I would just see them. I would go by slow and watch how they looked as they were rolling. They looked nice. They were all right, and I just remember it felt great having some rims. I got a paint job for it. I wanted to redo it. I wanted to put a 350 engine in it. I was starting on redoing the exhaust. I wanted to put some headers on it. I wanted to redo the exhaust, and I wanted to get I couldn't lower it because it was four-wheel drive, so I thought about raising it, or I just thought about putting like 18s on it, like a deep dish type of 18, with like the rug flat tire. So but the job that I had at the time, I was saving up for it, but then I messed up and got fired, and I ended up blowing the money, and I just had the 15s, and then the car got kind of messed up and scratched up, and it kind of all went to hag from there. I just had a beat up Jeep with these 415s, and it sounded all right, but in my opinion, it could have been louder, and I definitely wanted it louder. I wasn't satisfied with it. I didn't think it was that loud. Some people told me it was loud. I didn't think it was that loud. I mean, it was loud, but I don't think it was. It was probably in the 140s, lower 140s. But they were low quality subs, and I only had 250 watts running to each one. So that's really not anything that's going to bang much past a high 130, low 140, I would assume. Plus the box was this way and the subs were up, because obviously the price of the subs and the ampage, the excursion isn't going to be anything great. If I had a wall of four, I would have needed the $300 or $400 subs, which I probably should have done with probably an amp to each, and then I would have been able to do a wall where the flex would have been proper. But by having them up, banging towards the ceiling, the box was all right, but where the back of a 92 Cherokee would be, instead of having a box come up flush with, say, right where the window would kind of sit, so where the lower part of the window would be, it kind of had it a little bit down. So I thought that I thought it could have been a better box. And if it was a better box, maybe it would have banged a little bit harder, you know. But like I said, I only had what I had for the money, and I got what I got with it. Um, and it did sound pretty good, though. I'm not gonna lie. There were some songs that banged pretty hard, and I miss it. I used to drive around all the time. I used to take base voyages all the time. All the time, I used to take the voyages. I used to love driving around, driving through the city and stuff. The girls dancing, people, you know, whatnot, and it was fun. I mean, it just made times, just made things a little bit better. Kind of miss, I kind of miss that a little bit, you know. Guess it's one of those, yeah, one of those things there. So, but yeah, yeah, you definitely can't go wrong with the bass. Definitely good car audio is nice. And I'm sure Ben, you if you build it, then you gotta be seeing some nice stuff. I'm sure. But yeah, but all right, everybody, I'll be back again. I don't know if maybe I should just well, it's kind of hard to designate a time for the live, but I guess maybe I just go on when I go on. Try to go on in the afternoon. Probably be better. Seems like more people are around in the afternoon. So we'll definitely shoot for that. Oh, we had 2 hours and 16 minutes in. Wow, that went by. What time is it? Is it 17 on the one 12? Hold on. 7? Oh. Wow, it's almost 6. Wow, it's almost 6 o'clock. Holy, I started this at 3 something. Almost 4. Wow. Time went by real quick. It feels like it's like 5 o'clock. Wow, that's weird. All right. Well, I hope everybody, enjoyed it there. At least you kind of get to see the normal me without all the, you know what I mean? It is fun doing that, though. I like being an idiot. It makes it more fun. You guys see me. I mean, I'm laid back, not serious, and, I like to have a good time. I like to have a good time. I will not deny that. I like to have a good time. I love to have a good time, actually. I do. Love to party as well. I do. Never did when I was in high school, so I was always against everything. But then things happen, life threw curveballs. You go down that road where you don't want to go, but you go down, and then you go down other roads, and then you start going down roads alone, and that's when it becomes real fun. Some of my best times of being messed up and under the influence uh, was definitely when I was with people that didn't know I was. And oh, it was fun. And or just going places myself, or being at work when I was younger and doing different things on break and then coming back. It's like you do stupid things when you're in your 20s, your later teens, or well, no, it was actually early 20s for me. I'm 47 now. So this is back in 2000, 99, 2000, really. So, there were some fun times. I go out to clubs and stuff with my friends. Wasn't a big dancer, but some things would make me a good dancer. And I remember doing a little of that, and then I always go off alone. Always go off alone. I'd leave the group and I'd be like, I'll be back, and I'd go and dance and shuck and jive and stuff around people I didn't even know. The crew would be somewhere else. I was always the driver. I had the car keys on me, the cell phone. So they all knew that, yeah, at least I knew that, I was the only one going anywhere of anybody. And they all could trust me, and I always knew where they were going to be, and they always knew where I was going too. So there was never any worries, and I'd always get back to them. But I'd always go on these solo little jaunts,
And I used to love it. Oh, this is the best time. I'd go to the bathroom. The freaking bouncer would be there. I start talking to him, props up, give him $5, go take a pee, come back out. I think there was another time I gave him another $5 coming back out. Yeah, I had some times. And when I had my times, I was nothing but love and fun. And if I was having a bad day, definitely never became aggressive. I'm just not that way. I turned to love, actually, and all the problems went away and everything just became great. And there was never any hostility. And I always showed everybody respect and always just tried to have a good time amongst, doing what I was doing. But yeah, I mean, I like to have a good time. I mean, I guess we all do, especially nowadays. It's hard not to. But, that's why I just try to, work out and exercise and eat the best that I can and do different things just because, different variants and variables and whatnot. Things of the past that I've done that I don't do now and whatnot, they could reap some repercussions. So, I worry about different things, but, hopefully I'll make it, But all right, everybody, I'm gonna sign off here. Thank you again. And there should be a new video up now. I was uploading, so it's already up. But yeah, I'll be back soon, guys. So thank you all again, and yeah, I hope you keep enjoying, and please keep up with the support. Yeah, take care, everybody. Oh, Natsuki, you're still here. All right, cool. Where are you from, Natsuki, again? Did you say Asia? Oh, Thailand? Was it Thailand? Oh, Korea. Oh, that's right, Korea. Nice, cool. All right. What time is it over there? What time is it in Korea? Where are you from, Ben? Did you guys all leave? Everybody left. Anybody still out there? Food train still in the house. Oh, beautiful. 7 a.m. Well, good morning to you. 7 a.m. Well, it's 6 a.m. I mean, 6 p.m. over here. Oh, nice. 7 a.m. Oh, you were up early. We were watching for a while. Cool. All right. Well, have a good day. Please, everybody, continue the support. I definitely greatly appreciate that. All right. Well, I will be back. Don't worry. And please enjoy. Thank you, everybody, again.